Like and subscribe.
Smash the dinghy.
All right. So there is a rock and roll show happening right meow called Welcome to Rockville. I'm Dr. Roxo. And I wanted to talk about Welcome to Rockville because, one, I don't know if it makes me a bad person. I didn't know this existed, but it sounds insanely awesome. And I wanted to look at the headlining acts and also just discuss...
DWP show?
DWP? What happened?
So there's this guy who actually does a lot of these festivals around the country. Has like 5 of them. They're DWP. It's Danny Wimmer Presents. Does a lot of these multi-night festivals. I couldn't remember if Welcome to Rockville is one of them, but I mean, there's tons of them all across the country that he puts on.
I feel like I'm learning so much insider information from you.
Well, I listen to a lot of Sirius XM.
But have you guys had a chance to look at the lineup for that was happening this weekend?
No, I was actually doing that right now.
So I'm just gonna say the headlining acts. I like some of the. I mean, of course, I like some of the headlining acts. There's some of the other card that are some of like the songs I listen to right now, or some of the bands of the songs that I listen to right now.
So I'm trying to pull it up right now, but I don't want it to lag. So like, give me some lineups.
2 hours later.
Out of the 346 bands you just named, I am interested in like 5 of them, and this Blackstone Cherry band, because man, I keep hearing good things about Blackstone.
I think they're going to be big.
I think they're taking off. I wish. Can you like dream sequence in post? I wish there was a time where we had met them, but I have actually nothing to add to that dream sequence. So let's scratch that. Okay, so Blackstone Cherry is like, did I tell you that John, the bassist, is not with him anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Like he was like, I don't want to do this anymore, but I want to record stuff. Full disclosure, me and TJ have seen Blackstone Cherry collectively about 72 times. And
We've
one
met them
of those
in person
times
about 73 times.
About 73 times, and we know the guys. And one of those times we actually opened for them.
Way back in our younger years when we were still playing music.
Back in 2012. See, the Oklahoma State Fair was a fair that took place in Fort Smith. We brought the best of Oklahoma and Arkansas together on the western border of Arkansas and the eastern border of Oklahoma, and there was Campbell's and ducks and rides and whatnot, and there was bands playing in Hopper Coliseum. I remember that night. So well. We were shit on by security.
We got some stories there. Let's talk about this Welcome to Rockville, though.
Let's talk
before we
about
get
that.
into some of our stories. Yeah, Welcome to Rockville is a DWP show.
You called it, TJ.
So if any of these sound familiar, Louder Than Life Festival is one of them. Aftershock is one of them. I mean, he's got like a ton of them. Sonic Temple, Incarceration, Bourbon and Beyond, Epicenter. So he's got, I mean, they do like these every year, and there's always these huge lineups like this. Slipknot, I would love to see Slipknot. Trivium, Blackstone Cherry, I hear good things about them. I'd like to go ahead and see them again. You know, Avenged Sevenfold, I'd like to see. I Prevail, I'd like to see.
I like I Prevail too, yeah.
I don't care for Evanescence anymore. It's just I don't think their stuff is as good as their first album.
Well, yeah, Ben's not there.
And that's I
said what I said.
I think it's I don't think Amy Lee can write as good a songs as Ben. But that's just me. That's just I'd like to see Motionless in White, Memphis Mayfire, The Warning. I see. Here's a problem. Here's the problem with a lot of these festivals, though, is like, yeah, there's 50,000 bands playing, but I think it's also multiple stages.
Yeah.
And all these, a lot of these bands are playing at the same time until you get like to the main stage, which I think is what Alice Cooper, Godsmack, and Pantera is. Yeah, they'll start like at 7 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock at night or something, and then all these other ones like Hammerhead's probably playing Saturday morning at 9 a.m. like while they're serving breakfast.
Yeah. I say, TJ, yeah. I say real quick. Do you remember that one band who we're not going to talk about or say their names, but like, remember back in the day in Little Rock and Edge Fest? a Clear Channel station in Little Rock brought all these bands in
I
and
never
played
went
this.
to Edgefest.
Nor did I, but somebody we know did.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
His wife was really pregnant.
Really, like pregnant, not just like
really,
regular pregnant.
Not right, yeah.
Really pregnant.
So, that same band, they got to play at Edgefest. We beat in the Battle of the Bands to open for Blackstone Cherry and Theory of a Dead Man.
So the story, like, they've kind of been rivals of ours, but friends at the same time. Like, we, we'd know them, we'd hang out with them, we'd go over to their guitarist's house who, he was like the epicenter of the band. So like, if he didn't like someone, he'd fire them and replace them with somebody else and all this stuff. And we'd hang out with them and everything, but it was someone who thought they were more than what they are. Like, I don't know if he was intentionally being a dick.
No, I really don't think
but
so.
It just came off as like, I'm better than I am, kind of thing.
I know what I'm talking about. You guys don't have any idea. Right. There's so many inside jokes here that only me and you know, and that's what makes it even funnier. But this guy was in one band, and then he went to another band, and there was probably 3 years in between that.
It wasn't so much as in one band and then went to another band. He was in one band. They weren't very popular. They broke up, got back together with a new name.
Right. Okay. That's fair. Fair. And by the way, that same band that I'm convinced we could have played Edgefest if we just, I think what happened at the time is like, we didn't have all our things together. Like something was missing where we're like, we can't play that contest because there was a Battle of the Bands audition to get to Edgefest. And I'm glad we didn't too, because they did like what you said. Like they opened for Coheed and Cambria on Saturday morning at like 6:45. Like people aren't even out of their tents yet. And they're like, sound check. Yeah, you're done with sound check. Just play. And they're like, it's just an empty field with a bunch of tents. They're like, yeah, whatever. Just like go. It's Edgefest. But like, yes. And even so, like there was a point in between bands where like there was a point.
Edit that. You mean make it a TikTok video?
That's not at all what I meant. But if it gets likes and comments and subscribes, some scribes. Some scribes in the castle have not been writing this down. I need some scribes.
Right.
But what TJ is not telling you, and what I'm not telling you, is because we never talk about this. There was a point, and I think this is where it really went downhill. There was a point where like his band was like no more, and our band was kind of like, hey, we need help. And he was like, I'll be the manager. Right. Here's a guitar player. And me and TJ were like, okay. And he gave us.
This wasn't so much his band is no more than our band is going, we need help. It was literally his band was no more. They weren't doing anything. They weren't getting along. And I don't think we were, I think we had split at that point. I think Cradle Scythe was no more. It was just kind of me and you jamming, and we kind of left our bass player and didn't really start up anything. And then I think he called you and asked you like if you wanted to play drums. He was going to create a band. He was going to start a band. He was going to find the members of the band and put them together. So like he got you for drums, but then he's like, I know this guy for guitar. So he comes over and like the guy can't play guitar. He's like horrible at it. And
okay, come on now. Give him. He was good at guitar, providing there was no tempo or time signature. To play guitar. The riffs were there. The riffs were there. It's like that riff is jamming. Why can't he play it? Yeah. He wrote it, but I know it better than he does.
He had some technique, but like he could not keep time. I'm not excellent at keeping time, but still I know 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, I can do that in my head while I'm playing guitar.
I can't
know.
I can't tell you the number of times TJ like kind of like he like me and TJ when I was before I got up and played guitar, when I was playing drums, like me and TJ had some like sort of like cognizant kind of like look cue, and I remember that one of those first practices with this guy, I'm just kind of jamming, and I look up at TJ, and TJ is giving me this like I don't know how to describe it, like he's looking at him like yeah. But his eyes are like over here at me and saying, no, it ain't gonna work.
The funny thing is, like, this one guy who's going to put this band together, right? He's like, okay, well, we don't have a bass player. And I'm just like, well, I'll play bass. And he's like, no. And I'm like, well, just to help out for a while, you know, and I bought a bass and everything, was sitting there and, you know, going to play. And I'm just like trying to basically just kind of
trying to feel him out, trying to feel the rhythm.
This guy out, because there's a point where in your mind you're sitting there going, hey, if this guy's any good, we can get Cradle Scythe back together and ditch this dude who's trying to put this band together, you know, and have another guitar player, right?
100% the plan all along. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it was. And so we're like, well, we need a singer. And it's like, well, I know a guy who can sing, and I swear, like the guy who comes down who's like, you know, the I can sing guy.
I forgot about this dude, man.
Oh man, it's like it's like okay, and everything like he would say, he would break out into song, you know.
He would.
And he's like, and by the way, it's like I have severe OCD, so if I don't do this, you know, however many times I think my mom's gonna die, and it's like, cool, dude. So. What are you into? Like what kind of music, you know, what kind of bands you into? I really like Metallica, they are the greatest, you know.
He's not I want to say right now, he's not making this up. Everything he said actually happened. He was like, oh man, well, I really love Metallica. I just love how their harmonies get together. And we're out on my porch going, yeah, we like Metallica too. What do you say? You can't say, whoa, yeah. What a fucking freight train of a mess. You can't just like,
well,
like,
I just remember like after, you know, we auditioned this guy, you know, and he came down. And by the way, like if you're trying to put a band together, like part of the band experience is the look. Like obviously, like I don't have it anymore, you know, losing my hair, I'm going gray, right? You know, but you know, when I had longer, shaggier hair and a thicker, fuller beard, and you know, just wore black clothes, and you know, you looked more like I was in a band. I was like in a redneck band, but I was in a band. But like this guy, like comes to audition wearing like this bright yellow shirt and like sweatpants. This guy's gonna be a rock and roll singer? Like I was expecting like someone with like longer hair, maybe like a chain wallet, you know, and no, we got the guy who works the grill at McDonald's. And there's nothing wrong with working at McDonald's.
No. Except when you ask the French fries if they're being cooked correctly.
Or if you sing the order back to them.
I was about to say.
So.
All right, we got a number one with fries here. Number one with fries. A number one with fries minus the pickles. That was this guy.
Granted, he was able to sing. He could hold a note. But,
no, he was.
You know, when you're trying to have a conversation with someone.
That's the weirdest part. He was such a good singer. Like, when he broke into that, you were, like, taken back. But, like, what? Like, wow. You're like, oh, no. He said, oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. This might work. Oh, no, he's crazy.
Yeah. Good time.
You want a band experiences, Mr. Cack? You got brand experience.
Success.
That...